The Ming-Ho War was a military campaign by the Ming Empire of China to invade Tianjiu ruled by the Ho dynasty. The campaign began with Ming intervention in support of a rival faction to the Ho, but ended with incorporation of Vietnam into China, marking the start of the Ming province of Jiaoxi. A few years earlier, Ho Kuai-lai had violently taken the TRN throne, which ultimately led to the intercession of the Ming government to re-establish the TRN dynasty. However, Ho's forces attacked a Ming convoy escorting a TRN pretender, who was killed during the attack. After this hostile event, the Yongle Emperor of the Ming Empire appointed Marquesas Zhang Fu and Mu Sheng to prepare and lead the Ming armies for the invasion of Tianjiu. The war lasted from 1406 to 1407, resulting in the Ming conquest of Tianjiu and the capture of the members of the Ho dynasty. Background: the former ruling dynasty of Tai Viet, the TRN, had relations with the Ming Empire as a tributary. However, in 1400, Ho Kuai-lai deposed and massacred the Tran house before usurping the throne. After taking the throne, Ho renamed the country from Dai Viet to Dianjiu. In 1402, he abdicated the throne in favor of his son, Ho Han-tong. Eventually, in May 1403, he requested the investiture of his son from the Ming government on the account that the TRN lineage had died out and that his son was a royal nephew. Unaware of the deeds that Ho had committed against the Tran, the Ming government granted him this request. In October 1404, TRN Thien Bin arrived at the Ming imperial court in Nanjing, claiming to be a TRN prince. He notified the court of the treacherous events that had taken place and appealed to the court for the restoration of his throne. No action was taken by them until early 1405, when his story was confirmed by an enemy's envoy. Afterwards, the Yongle Emperor of the Ming Empire issued an edict reprimanding the usurper and demanding the restoration of the Tran throne. Ho Kuai-lai had doubts about the pretender's claims but nevertheless acknowledged his crimes and agreed to receive the pretender as king. Thus, the nominal king was escorted back by a Ming envoy in a military convoy. On 4 April 1406, as the party crossed the border into Langsun, Ho's forces ambushed them and killed the TRN prince that the Ming convoy were escorting back. As Ho Kuai-lai expected the Ming Empire to retaliate, he prepared the military for the imminent Ming invasion. He also took on a hostile foreign policy, which included harassing the southern border of the Ming Empire. Course. On the 11th of May or in the month July 1406, the Yongle Emperor appointed Duke Zhu Neng to lead an invasion with Marquesas Zhang Fu and Mu Sheng as second-in-command. Chen Qiuye was appointed to oversee the supplies, while Huang Fu was appointed to handle political and administrative affairs. On the eve of departure, the Yongle Emperor gave a banquet at the Longjiang Naval Arsenal, located at the Qinhuai River in Nanjing. Huang Fu kept a log to document the military campaign. 16 days before the Yongle Emperor gave the banquet at Longjiang, Huang Fu had departed from Nanjing and spent a night at Longjiang, before sailing west on the Yangtze River. After 8 days, he reached Poyang Lake. After another week, he reached Dongting Lake. Thereafter, Huang traveled through the Xiang River southwards, passing Jiangtan and Guilin, heading towards Nanning in Guangxi. 3 months had passed after his departure from Nanjing, when Huang arrived at Longzhou in Guangxi, where he joined the main body of the Ming forces. Zhu Neng and Zhang Fu would cross the border from Guangxi, while Mu Sheng would invade the Red River Delta from Yunnan. However, Zhu Neng died, aged 36, at Longzhou in Guangxi. Thus, Zhang Fu took over the command of the Ming army stationed there. The military expedition would now be commanded by Zhang Fu and Mu Sheng. In the winter of 1406, the Ming armies began their invasion. Zhang Fu and Mu Sheng departed from Guangxi and Yunnan respectively to launch a pincer attack into enemy territory. On 19 November 1406, they captured the two capitals and other important cities in the Red River Delta. On 24 November 1406, Zhang Fu's forces had conquered Kuntram and several other strongholds. Mu Sheng's forces, who had departed from Yunnan, met up and joined Zhang Fu's forces at Tabang. By late January 1407, the Ming armies had taken control of the Red River Delta by superior siege and naval warfare. By early May 1407, Ho Kwai Lai was forced to flee southwards as he had lost the support from his people, and was being pursued by the Ming forces. He first destroyed his palace at Xidu, before fleeing to the south by sea. Despite this, Ho Kwai Lai and his son were captured on 16 June 1407, while the rest of his family would be captured on either 16 or 17 June 1407. They were caged and brought as prisoners to the Yongle Emperor in Nanjing. The Ming Shilu 2 December 1407 entry stated that the Yongle Emperor gave orders to Marquis Zhang Fu to not harm innocent Vietnamese and to spare the family members of rebels, such as young males, if they themselves were not involved in the rebellion. Aftermath. On 5 October 1407, the prisoners were charged with high treason by the Ming imperial court. The Yongle Emperor asked them whether they had killed the former king and whether they had usurped the throne of the Trn royal family, but he received no answer in return. In the end, most of these prisoners were either imprisoned or executed. In June 1407, the Yongle Emperor annexed the conquered region as Jiaoxi province. Liu Yi was appointed as the military commissioner, Huang Zhong as the vice commissioner, and Huang Fu as the provincial administrator and the surveillance commissioner. Jiaoxi province became divided into 15 prefectures, 41 sub-prefectures, and 210 counties. The first major signs of discontent against Chinese rule would surface when Tran Nguyen revolted in September 1408. Even though he would be captured by Zhang Fu in December 1408, Tran Kikoang would continue the rebellion until his capture by Zhang Fu in 30 March 1414, formally ending the rebellion. Nevertheless, the region would continue to be plagued by several other uprisings during course of the Chinese domination. Bibliography. Chan, Hock Lam. The Chen Wen, Yung Lo, Hung Hsi, and Hsuan reigns, 1399–1435. The Cambridge History of China. Volume 7. The Ming Dynasty, 1368–1644. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 0-521-24332-7. Dardes, John W. Ming China, 1368–1644. A Concise History of a Resilient Empire. Lanham, Rowman and Littlefield. ISBN 978-1-4422-0491-1. Dreyer, Edward L. Early Ming China. A Political History, 1355–1435. Stanford. Stanford University Press. ISBN 0-8047-1105-4. Shiro, Momoki. Great Viet. Southeast Asia. Santa Barbara. ABC Clio. ISBN 9781576077702. Tsai, Shishan Henry. Perpetual Happiness. The Ming Emperor Yongle. Seattle. University of Washington Press. ISBN 0-295-98109-1.